Me got baby face, me big boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water make Gulf US survey. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face. Me got baby face, me got big chair. Trump bad, Trump good, me no care. Me write big book, kill billies and stuff. Now me import and wear tie up tough. Me go Yale school, me learn big word. Now me forget everything me heard. Silicon people give me job, me take. Now me like Trump, me make no mistake. Yo, it's JD Advance. Fight walk folk, me say never die. Me protect kids, me born liberal. Him, them, there. America simple, only two gender. Me face, me big boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water make Gulf US survey. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face. So many gender for my agenda. Went on a bender, exec could sender. Might take Panama just like na. Might take Gaza, pop then a plaza. Witness my majesty.
There we go. I'm all fucked up. What's going on, everyone? Welcome into CobraCast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage I dot of Unit 199. Happy to see all of you here on a Saturday. And yes, we had a damn good day yesterday. Sorry I didn't go live, but we are here and we're ready to catch up on all of the news. We had an awesome meetup yesterday at the 9 Line headquarters in Savannah, Georgia. Let's freaking go. I even saw a few of you in the chat from yesterday already. Great seeing you yesterday in the Savannah at 9 Line. Let's freaking go. And this was the result right here. Look at this. Look at that. Hell yes. Hail to the chat. Hail to the peeps that came out there and hung out with us. It was a lot of fun and more to come for sure. So obviously this was, something that we threw together last second. And I got to say, like, the opportunity to do a bigger meetup at 9 Line is 100% there. You guys are saying Mo Zamboni was looking the wrong way. I keep seeing people say this. Where's Mo? Mo is looking the wrong way. Okay, hang on, right there. Mo is, look at Mo. Oh, good old Mo. Can't even keep up. Of course, there it is. So, but anyway, hope you're all doing well. It was great hanging out with everybody. And big shout out to 9 Line. And I'll have more to announce in the very near future. Let's just say you're going to be happy. All right. But we got to work out all the deets. But we had a great time. And we had some great meetings with them. And in the very near future, you will hopefully hear some news. I can't wait to tell everyone what all we have. Zioni says, I understand that the conflict needs to end and oil prices need to drop. But if Trump signed an awful deal to do it, it's also going to hurt him. Well, Trump, I mean, again, I don't think that there's any chance that Trump's going to sign a bad deal. I mean, Trump is a deal maker. So we'll get into what's going on with Iran here in just a minute. Packy Proton says, you take one day off and look what happens. This is the price you pay for being on the internet. Packy Proton says, I hope there is no deal. Iran will not honor it. We are dealing with terrorists and the people of Iran will feel betrayed. They are not legitimate government. I kind of agree with that. Like, I don't really want to deal with Iran, but we all know that if there is a deal with Iran, they're not gonna stay true to it anyway. You know what I mean? Grapthar's Hammer for 10 says peace tax. Thank you, Grapthar's Hammer. Alex Arrow Cave says return of the great gay mage I dot meta PC code 199. We are back and ready to rock and roll. Viking says, happy Saturday, LFG. Thank you. American Dreamer says, all fucked up tax. Thank you, American Dreamer. Jason J says, how many deals does this make now with Iran? I've lost count. I'll point and laugh when this falls apart. As long as you send me super chats, I am completely okay with that, Jason. So, but make sure you send more. Because again, I want to understand. I want to feel the pain, okay? And the only way that I can truly believe that you're upset is if you send a bigger super chat, okay? And I'm just trying to work with you here. I want to know how angry you are. So fully commit to this and show me how much you don't like Trump. Drop a 50 or 100 and I'll know you're serious, okay? I will know you're serious. Slain Hope says, hail the 199, hail the Snake Pit, and hail good Jeremy. Thank you so much. And Jeanette says, hail Princess Leia. Oops, Jeremy. Nice to catch a live stream at last. Where you been, Ann Jeanette? Good to see you. We are also live on Kick and Rumble. Hail to the chat. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. Pagnanimous says, PSA tax. Still watch on YouTube. Use Kick for notifications. Kick notifies 100%. Only reason I knew you were live now. Kick notifications are very on point. So even if you don't want to watch on Kick or support on Kick, just having that and being, following and just have the notifications on, because Kick notifications are really good. That is one thing that I will say for sure that's really cannot even be debated. Rumble notifications are hit or miss. YouTube notifications are hit or miss. Kick notifications are on point. But thank you. Peter says, hashtag sending bigger super chat tax. So, he'll have to read this. Did I get all that correct? What the hell is this? Thank you. Jeremy Wormy says, I'm extremely angry. I don't know why, but I heard I was supposed to send supers when I'm angry. You've been listening. Jeremy Wormy. Hail to you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Let's see here. Jason J, he's now sending at least a $10. Imagine shitting blood and blood clots at 50 years old. That's called stage 3 colon cancer. I've seen many deals fail now. I don't know what you're trying to say. What are you trying to say? Jason, you sound very angry, but not angry enough. $50 super chat or I can't take you seriously. This is all I'm asking you, okay? Just send a $50 super chat. All right? Until then, we can't take you seriously. We think you're just memeing. You sound like a Trump supporter that's making fun of someone with TDS. Do you love Trump that much? If you send a 50, I'll believe that you do hate him. That's the only way. Let's see. Grapthar's Hammer says, what will be next after Iran to distract from Guthrie and also Greenland takeover? Trump did tweet out about that. He did. So we shall see. Little Jim's Halo says, Fitcast 199, $7,000 checks coming. That's right. We love those $7,000 checks. But let's get into it. We got a few things to catch up on. There's many things that we need to talk about. I think the first thing I want to discuss here is, hello, Jeremy, any chance you would come to Japan? I really do want to go to Japan. I don't want to be on a 14-hour flight or whatever, but I really do want to go to Japan. It's in the cards for me one day. I would have to fly first class, and it's so expensive. It's because I've heard international flights with the first class is like, it's like night and day. I flew first class on my flight back because I got upgraded. But my flight from Orlando to California, I was just, I guess I was in the emergency exit, so I had a little more leg room, but I flew first class back and it was fine. It wasn't that big of a deal, but I've heard that internationally flying first class is a game changer. And if I'm going to have to be on a plane for 14 hours, I'm going to have to do that, but I really just don't want to fly. Maybe get on a boat. Let me see here. All right. So, but anyway, let's get into it. So here's the latest right now. Okay. President Trump confirms a peace deal between the U.S. and Iran has been largely negotiated and could be finalized imminently. An announcement could be coming very soon. Keep pushing for peace 47. And this is his tweet right here. And he says a lot of names that I can't read, that are including Saudi Arabian people and all of that. An agreement has been largely negotiated, subject to finalization between the U.S., United States of America, and the Islamic Republic of Iran, and other countries are involved. Final aspects of the deal are being discussed and will be announced shortly. In addition, too many other elements of the agreement, the Strait of Hormuz will be open. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. So that's kind of where we are right now.
What have you said to Prime Minister Netanyahu about Iran and how long to hold off on strike?
He's fine. He'll do whatever I want him to do. He's very, very good man.
Doesn't sound like he works for Israel when he says that. What? Hold on just a minute. I was told he works for Israel. I was told that Trump works for Israel.
Netanyahu about Iran and how long to hold off on strike?
He's fine. He'll do whatever I want him to do. He's very, very good man. He'll do whatever I want him to do, and he's a great guy. To me, he's a great guy. Don't forget, he was a wartime prime minister.
What have you said to Prime Minister?
Now, we do have reports, if I can find it. There are reports that he's very unhappy right now. The guy that runs the United States of America, apparently, from what we're told, because we're told that all the time by a bunch of clowns that don't know what they're talking about. Let me see if I can find that. Looking for it now. I've had to bookmark so much. But there were, I don't know if it was from a verified source or whatever, but there were reports out there that Netanyahu was very unhappy with this. But I haven't heard a whole lot more from that. So I'll see if I can find that, and we'll go from there. Now, we do have Scott Rogers for $50, says, in Branson for my 1-year anniversary with my wife. Got Culver's for lunch and catching a live CobraCast. It's a good day. That's awesome. That is awesome. Thank you for the 50 and congratulations. And you had Culver's. I mean, this sounds like a great day. Culver's watching CobraCast, hanging out with the lady. That's how you do it. Well, congratulations to both of you, and have a fun, awesome day. That is super cool. Super cool. On top of all this stuff with Iran right now, and it's interesting because unless I'm wrong, I haven't heard Trump talk about this. But interestingly enough, we got a report late last night that Ivanka Trump reportedly had an assassination plot on her. And I haven't heard Trump talk about this. And we can understand why he would not talk about this, okay? We can understand why. But this was late last night.
Welcome back to Fox and Friends. We're going to lead with a Fox News alert. A suspected terrorist with ties to Iran allegedly targeted Ivanka Trump for assassination. Sources telling the New York Post that the man behind the plot is the IRGC-trained Iraqi national taken into custody just last week.
The plot against Ivanka reportedly responds to President Trump killing Iranian military chief Qasem Soleimani. A source telling the Post that the suspect, quote, went around telling people we need to kill Ivanka to burn down the house of Trump the way he burned down our house.
Here with reaction is the national correspondent for the Daily Signal, Tony Kinnett.
It's crazy stuff, man. And so obviously, again, unless I'm wrong, I haven't heard Trump make any public comments about this yet, and you can understand why he would not want to. But that is out there. Now, we do have this other video that's talking about it right here. Well, if I could. All right, YouTube, quit fucking with me.
I want to start with some breaking news this evening. There are reports circulating that first daughter Ivanka Trump has been targeted by an Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps trained terrorist in a revenge plot over the death of Iran's military chief Qasem Soleimani in a U.S. drone strike. The terrorist reportedly spoke of the plot, for which he supposedly had a blueprint of Ivanka's Florida home, before his recent capture in Turkey. He has since been extradited to the U.S. So, Waleed, I want to get your reaction on this first. What do you think?
That is wild right there.
Well, first of all, jihadists in general have said that they have targeted the Trump family. I myself, as one of the first foreign policy advisors during the campaign in 2016, there was an invitation coming from Egypt, but from allies, and the campaign was very firm. The invitation was to Ivanka Trump to deliver a speech to women. Campaign was very clear. And I was from that.
All right, we got to stop here because we have breaking news. Gunshots heard outside the White House. NBC and ABC report. Reportedly dozens, 20 to 30. Comes as 47 zeroes in on an Iran deal. President Trump, pray for President Trump. Holy crap.
Blow them to kingdom come. Quote, blow them to kingdom come. Meanwhile, Fox News is learning President Trump held a key phone call today.
Jeez, man. Everything is absolutely insane right now. Jeez, how is this happening? As he's announcing a potential peace deal, we have gunshots. Welcome to the world of Democrats right here. This is the Democrat mindset. This is how they operate. Let me see. Let's see. You said, somebody in the chat said, I told you that 5 minutes ago. Okay. Well, what do you want me to do about it? Do you want me to just like go back in time and just like, what do you want me to do? I didn't fucking see it. Clearly, I would have fucking said something. But thank you for attempting to tell me. The fuck you want me to do? Like, I'm just like, oh, yeah, hey, it's about me. Let's make this about you. Okay, well, I'm sorry. Let's focus on you and not the fact that somebody is firing a gun outside of the fucking White House. But anyway, this is what I get for reading the chat. Most streamers don't fucking read the chat. And then because I read the chat, I miss one comment and suddenly nobody likes me now. Nobody likes me. I'm just messing with you. Sorry about that. That was really, really, really mean. Jeremy turning into Christian Bale. But yes, this is obviously a serious situation and trying to keep up with everything. East Coast Toasted Boy, I saw you in the chat. You were asking when the 9-line image will be released. It's actually on my Twitter account right now. I think Jay posted it to Instagram. But here's the picture from yesterday right here. So if you guys want to get that off my Twitter account or Jay's Instagram account, feel free to do just that. But I'm monitoring this situation right now and see if we can get any more info on what exactly is going on. Trump, that was 26 minutes ago. There's a lot going on right now. Let's go back to this because we do have this Ivanka Trump situation that is serious and needs to be understood, all the ramifications of this.
You cannot have her go because the Muslim Brotherhood, the jihadists. And now we have a problem with the Islamic regime in Iran since the assassination, mostly since that time, of the head of the Quds force. So it is very serious when we hear stories or reports about individuals who have been working with the commander who has been eliminated, who have been working with the regime against members of the families. That is a top priority because by targeting the family, by targeting people who are close to the president or members of the cabinet or anybody who is a decision maker, they are trying to create a chaos. They are trying to create divisions to get and gain time for them.
I can't understand anything this man is saying. I'm just going to be honest. I can't understand anything he's saying.
The regime. So we have to be very careful about that. And I am very happy that this information was, unveiled and then he is arrested.
Yeah, I didn't understand anything you said. So we'll move on to someone that we can understand because she's so fake and phony that we at least can understand what she's saying because she pretends to be a conservative. Here's Tommy Lahren talking about what President Trump is up to, finalizing this Iran deal right now.
Announced shortly. The deal would also reopen the Strait of Hormuz. This comes after he spoke with several Middle Eastern leaders on the phone and spoke separately with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu today. But one thing is clear, the commander-in-chief is not backing down on ending Iran's nuclear ambitions.
This is a quick reminder that Tommy Lahren was a DeSantis bro.
And is going to have a nuclear weapon if we don't stop them. And I said, we're going to have to do it. And we have stopped them. They're not going to ever have a nuclear weapon. They're never going to have a nuclear weapon.
Meanwhile, Secretary of State Marco Rubio elaborated on potential terms of the deal.
There is a chance that whether it's later today, tomorrow, in a couple days, we may have something to say. But this issue needs to be solved, as the president has said, one way or the other. Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. The straits need to be opened without tolls. They need to turn over their enriched uranium. They need to turn over their highly enriched uranium. We need to address that issue. We need to address the issue of enrichment. These are the president's points consistently.
We have team coverage with Jeff Paul standing by in Dubai. But first, we go to Alex Hogan live at the White House. Alex?
Hi, Tommy. So the White House says the president has been working all day, and the president made that announcement.
I think he missed Don. So Don Jr. is on his 20th wedding, I think. But I think Trump missed it because he's working on this. So yeah, Don Jr. I don't know 20. I don't know how many times. I feel like Don Jr. gets married every 6 months. So I'm not really sure how many times he's gotten married. But anyway, so he did miss Don Jr.'s wedding.
Announcement just in the last 30 minutes, writing on Truth Social, in part, quote, final aspects and details of the deal are currently being discussed and will be announced shortly. In addition to many other elements of the agreement, the Strait of Hormuz will be opened. President Trump says that he held a discussion with the
Yeah, Trump knows there will be another wedding. Is it only a second? All right. Well, I'm memeing a little too hard on him.
leaders of Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Qatar, Pakistan, Turkey, Jordan, and Bahrain. Separately, he also had a call with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. One diplomat telling Fox that regional leaders in the Middle East say that the call was positive and that progress is being made. The announcement, however, did not include details on nuclear concerns, and we have heard reiterations from the administration that in order for a deal, Iran would not be able to have a nuclear weapon and it would need to turn over enriched uranium. With all of this underway, the president is here at the White House, not in the Bahamas at his son's wedding celebration.
There we go.
Trump posted on Truth Social, quote, while I very much wanted to be with my son, Don Jr., and the newest member of the Trump family, his soon-to-be wife, Bettina, circumstances pertaining to the government and my love for the United States of America do not allow me to do so.
What? Imagine that, a president that's actually focused on making America great again. What a crazy concept. What a crazy concept. East Coast Toasted Boy for 20 says traffic was better on the way back, at least. Go figure. Hope y'all have more meetups in this area. I'll work on my stream setup with Mo Zamboni's help. Hopefully I'll be as big as y'all. Been fun talking with you guys. And then also, when does the group photo get posted? Yeah, so it is on my Twitter and on Jay's Instagram. But thank you, East Coast Toasted Boys. Great talking to you, brother. He complains about traffic as much as I do. We both hate, stupid drivers. So, really appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Rub-a-dub-dub says, nice meeting you at 9 Line yesterday. Hey man, nice meeting you too. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Little Jim, I got that. Mudkip says, if you don't want to fly or ride Alan to Japan, Lying Dog Face with a get the membership. Nima says, I only watch for the DJ Advanced intro and Sabaton. I respect that. Jeremy Rummy says, can I have one weekend without breaking news? I just want to laugh at dumb people. You and me both, man. You and me both, but it's never going to happen. Walker, Texas Ranger says, any chance we could get a G&G American flag shirt for the 250? That's very much a possibility. That's very much. Listen, when I announce this thing with 9 Line, once we finalize everything, everybody's gonna have to go support because we've hyped it up a lot. So Vikings says, make no mistake, we are battling against demons. Stand firm and pray. Absolutely. Norman Mann says, never Trumpers. How dare Trump put government over family? Trump is a bad dad. That's the next line from him.
The president went on to say that he felt he needed to be here in Washington, D.C., but of course he did congratulate the newlyweds. Tommy.
Alex Hogan, thank you so much. And for continuing coverage on the Iran conflict, Jeff Paul joins us live from Dubai. Jeff?
Yeah, and we are learning that according to Reuters and its sources, Iran, along with mediators from Pakistan, well, they have submitted their end of the proposal to the U.S. to end the war and reopen the Strait of Hormuz, and they are expecting a response from the U.S.
Okay, I have to pause this for a minute because this is crazy. Okay, hang on. Rapid gunshots break out at the White House while ABC reporter Selena Wang records for the news. White House on lockdown. President Trump inside. Press rushed inside. Pray for them all.
Close, only for the two sides to remain far apart.
Dude. Do you guys remember stuff like this happening when Joe Biden or Barack Hussein Obama was in the White House? Do you guys remember anything like this happening? It's amazing that nothing like this was happening. Very, very interesting. So right here, breaking, about 30 shots fired outside of the White House. Secret Service reportedly rushed the press who were on the north lawn into the press briefing room. So that's the video that we just saw. Now, what's interesting about this as well, okay, is we have very, very retarded people saying that all of the assassination attempts from President Trump were not real. Yeah. In fact, Candace Owens had Hunter Biden on her podcast, and they said just that. Yeah. Can you believe that? Of course you can believe that, because this is the fake news clowns. Candace Owens is just an unbelievable liar right here. Hunter Biden and Candace Owens are in total agreement that Donald Trump did not survive 4 assassination attempts. We're supposed to believe he survived 4 assassination attempts, the first president. What do you expect? What do you expect? Of course. This is who they are.
I mean, whether it's Butler or Charlie or
makes no sense.
These things that it's just not right. And I mean, it's so glaringly not right. It's almost as if they're just saying,
F
like,
you.
F you.
They're not even
I don't
trying.
care.
We don't even get good psyops anymore. And that's what I keep saying. I'm like, it's so disrespectful that we're not even getting good psyops anymore. Like we're supposed to believe he survived 4 assassination attempts, the first president that's ever survived 4 assassination attempts.
Yeah.
They lie to us about things, they make a big deal, and then they make it want to, it's going to go away. They're going to keep pretending and telling us that this is a totally normal grieving widow. Okay. No one's buying that. Like that something's just not right here. Everyone can see that this is not how you would react to your husband being shot. And this sort of just, I'm fine. And 2 weeks later, I fully accept the narrative. I have no interest in anything else. It's over. Let's close it. I forgive him. Let's move on. You're asking us to abandon our common sense and our humanity is what you're asking us to do. And that kind of seems like
absolutely insane. Like this is the level of insanity we're dealing with. Meanwhile, there's 30 shots fired outside of the White House right now as Trump is trying to close a peace deal. Welcome to the world of Democrats. Mark of Reality for Fives is good to see you at 9 Line yesterday. It was a fun little meet and greet. Yes, it was. And yeah, I really didn't know what to expect. But now that I've been there and I've talked to them, I told them, I says, look, if we plan this out, we could get 4 times the amount of people here and we can really get some stuff going because they have a lot of room outside. There's obviously drinks and food there. There's a lot of opportunity. We'll get into that later, but thank you, Mark of Reality. I appreciate it, man. Okay, so if you're just tuning in, we have had gunshots heard outside the White House, reported by NBC and ABC. Reportedly dozens, maybe 20 to 30. This comes as 47 is locking down a deal with Iran. And of course, this is going to take away focus from that right now. 9 Line was a fantastic venue for a meetup. What's up, Risk It for a Biscuit? Good to see you, brother. So right here, shots fired outside the White House. Multiple reporters are saying they heard 30 shots. Press has been rushed into the press briefing room by Secret Service. White House on lockdown. Counter snipers on the rooftop. Please pray for President Trump. That's crazy, man. Absolutely insane. Yikes. Peter says Trump spanking the left. Polish Princess Jeremy, when are we getting Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight gaming stream? Don't make me send Fear of the Deerdo after you, because of you I will. I am looking forward to playing that game. I haven't gotten it yet, but it looks so good. So maybe soon. Poor X-Ray Girl. Yeah, that did look like X-Ray Girl. Let's see. We got that. Now, meanwhile, while all this is going on, we obviously have the negotiations going on with President Trump. And this was earlier, but President Trump posted this right here. Trump just dropped Iran becoming the United States of America. Is he foreshadowing United States of Middle East? Cue the meltdowns. So this is what Trump has been posting about during his negotiations. And of course, this is going to really, really upset the left. They're going to be screeching. They're going to be crying. They're going to be whining because this is what Trump does. He loves to break their brains. All right. He loves to do it. This is classic Trump right here. Mar Millen for 20 says stream chat grift tags. May miss these. I'll be back after next week, though. On vacation starting today. Much love to the snake pit and even the head pig. Well, hey, man, have a great vacation, brother, and thank you for all of your support. I really appreciate it. And yeah, disconnect from the internet for a bit, man. It's very much like it's very much going to help you. And listen, that's not a good business strategy for me to tell the whole reason I can be successful is because people are on the internet, and I go, hey guys, take some time away from the internet. Probably not the smartest thing to do. I mean, it would be like working at McDonald's and telling the customers, like, you shouldn't eat this as much as you do. It's probably not good for you. It's not a smart business strategy, but it is true, man. Disconnecting from the internet every now and then, it will help you. I promise. You definitely need to check out. Scully 450 says, hail chat, hail Jeremy. Hope all is well with you and your family. Thank you, Scully. My parents are recovering very well after their car accident, so they're doing great. And like I said, having the 9-line meetup was very good. And it's not just a meetup. There was like a lot of conversations that happened and a lot of opportunities. Got to meet some really cool people that I didn't know we were going to get to meet with 9-line and people that were there hanging out. So yeah, there's some good stuff. As soon as I can give you more details, I will. And on top of that, I've got another announcement that hopefully I'll be able to make very soon that we're cooking. So a lot of good stuff trending in the right direction. Thank you, Scully, as always. Zindy Biscuit says, what's up? I've been away from the news today. Gas prices coming down. I mean, hopefully, but right now the main story is this one right here. Shots are fired outside of the White House. The White House is currently on lockdown right now, and this is all while Trump is working on a peace deal with Iran, and yet here we are. This whole thing is just absolutely crazy. And obviously, I'm pretty sure President Trump is safe, but the fact that there's just random shots outside of the White House it's unbelievable, man. It's absolutely unbelievable. Now, while we're waiting for more information on that, I did want to show everyone this because, I mean, this just puts it into perspective right here. Okay. So yesterday, maybe this was today, actually. I'm not sure if this was yesterday or today, but is this your king, all of you Massie supporters? Let me find out if this is your king. Massie post Grok. Is it true that the Charlie Kirk show is now distributed by a registered foreign agent of Israel? Here we go with Thomas Massie. So now let's go after Charlie Kirk. I wonder if that's going to work out good for you. I mean, he's basically signaling that he is going for the Candace Owens crowd. This is what he's doing right now. Okay. Now Andrew from TPUSA says the short answer is no. The Charlie Kirk Show, which I started with Charlie in 2019, is distributed by RAV, not Salem. I've been here for the entire journey, booked all the guests, including you twice, developed all of the editorial. We follow Bannon's war room and actually love your stances on war, Maha, and the debt. To make any of this about Israel is not only wrong, is telling. Now, what's interesting about this is we also had a video that Michael Knowles uploaded. Listen to this right here. This is absolutely fantastic.
It's my feed yesterday. People were tagging me in it. This was from before the Thomas Massie primary campaign, before the election on Tuesday, in which Dave Smith was taking some issue with my political analysis and my predictions. He was sitting with the reactionary commentator, Nick Fuentes, and Dave said that he was really eager to see what my reaction would be if my prediction turned out to be incorrect.
Then the betting markets start like changing. Clearly, people are putting money in and influencing this. So Michael Knowles over at the Daily Wire, who I don't dislike Michael Knowles, but his take on this was he goes, man, if Thomas Massie loses, this just shows the iron grip that Donald Trump has on the Republican Party.
Oh, brother.
And you're like, dude, I mean, I think it shows the iron grip that the Israel lobby has. If they're like, that might be a slightly more accurate take. But then I also go, and I'll be interested because I think Thomas Massie's going to win. I think it's close, but I think he's going to pull this off.
Really? You think Thomas Massie's going to win, huh? Okay.
I wonder what Michael Knowles' reaction to that will be. So if it proves that Trump has an iron grip when Massie falls out, what about when Thomas Massie wins and survives $20 million being pumped into his district? What would that?
Interesting. I wonder what your reaction will be when he loses by a significant margin.
Suggest.
I wonder what Michael Knowles, what his reaction will be when his prediction proves incorrect. You see Nick Fuentes there. He says, oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I wonder what my reaction would have been had I been wrong. I guess we'll never know. Because my prediction was totally correct. Right now, go to ground.news/Knowles.
All right,
we got watching this. You already
we do like Michael Knowles, but we got a lot going on, Michael, so we had to skip past that. We love the grip.
I think it's going to be close. It wasn't even close. It wasn't close. It was a 9-point swing. So that was the first bit. I found that very delightful. And I appreciate that Dave says, he goes, look, I don't dislike Michael Knowles. And I feel exactly the same way. Actually, I want to get Dave on one of the bar fight shows because he'd be a good figure for the show. I
actually do like Michael Knowles. I don't like the Daily Wire, but I like Michael Knowles. I do not like or respect Dave Smith at all in any way, shape, or form.
The conservative. Dave is a libertarian. Then we get some left winger. I think that's a pretty good lineup because everybody could kind of disagree, but sometimes would agree with each other. So anyway, I'm grateful for Dave's statement there, and I look forward to seeing him on a bar fight show or something. But what about the first part, where you say, okay, well maybe Michael was totally right in his prediction, maybe Dave was wrong in his prediction, but Dave and Nick Fuentes both take issue with my analysis. My analysis was, part of my prediction, I said was,
And by the way, for those of you tuning in, I'm aware of what's going on with the White House right now. I'm getting more information to talk about here, so we will talk about what's happening at the White House as well. I have been talking about it, but this is another topic I wanted to get to.
If Massie goes down, this will be evidence that Trump has an ironclad grip on the Republican Party. And the two of them, they say, oh, brother, here we go. No, it doesn't show. That's not what it will chiefly show. What it's going to show is that the pro-Israel lobby has an ironclad grip on the Republican Party. That will be the chief takeaway if Massie goes down. But I don't think Massie's going to go down. Yeah, no, I don't think he's going to go down. No, he'll win. It'll be close, whatever. Okay. So I want to point out, I was also completely correct in my political analysis of the broader context here.
Correct.
And let's be totally clear about it.
Trump.
I am not denying in the least that pro-Israel donors wanted to take Massie out. I'm not denying that at all. It's a little complicated because Massie's biggest individual backer was ardently pro-Israel. That's a slight confounding factor, but it's true. AIPAC wanted to take Massie out. The pro-Israel donors really wanted to take Massie out. But that was not the chief takeaway. And my proof of this is all of the other races, all of the other primaries that Trump intervened in. You can say the Israel issue was a big factor in the Massie race. How do you explain Brad Raffensperger in Georgia? Israel didn't play a single role in that election.
Exactly.
That primary race was about Raffensperger's reaction to the 2020 presidential election. How do you explain Bill Cassidy's Senate primary? Bill Cassidy's Senate primary had nothing whatsoever to do with Israel. He just irritated Trump by turning against him on the issue of impeachment. How do you explain the
It's a massive cope from these losers. They don't want to admit what is obvious to everybody. It's Trump. Trump has all of the power. You may not like it, but that is the truth. And you can try to spin this in whatever direction you want. He has the power. If he goes against you in a Republican primary, you're done.
Indiana state legislators who went down in their primary campaigns in all the races that Trump intervened in. That issue wasn't about Israel. That was about redistricting because they turned on Trump on redistricting. My point is not that the pro-Israel donors didn't want to take Massie out. My point is that the chief takeaway of Massie going down alongside Raffensperger and Cassidy and the Indiana legislature all at the same time is that the only common thread there wasn't Israel, it wasn't the 2020 election, it wasn't impeachment, it wasn't redistricting. Those were individual issues. The only common thread to them all going down at the same time is that Trump turned on them and told voters not to vote for them.
Simple as that. And if you want more evidence of that, we got it right here.
I would just say, look, Trump is the general of the Republican Party, and Republican primary voters are, in fact, his soldiers. And you can see it in the Texas polling, his impact of an endorsement. Now, this is, of course, before, of course, the endorsement came down. But look at this. 55% of Texas Republicans said they would be more likely to vote for the candidate that he endorsed versus just 36% who said no impact. Just 9% said that they'd be less likely to vote for the candidate endorsed. The bottom line is this. What Donald Trump wants, he almost always gets in Republican primaries, because when you see numbers like this, 55% of Republicans in Texas say they're going to be more likely to vote for whoever he endorses. And that, of course, being Ken Paxton. It's no wonder the president's so confident.
Well, we're seeing this over and over and over again in primaries, even though people look and go, well, his approval ratings, it doesn't matter to those who are the core voters, who are MAGA all the way. You're seeing it play out again and again. Where do the prediction markets put the Texas Senate runoff post-Trump endorsement?
Yeah, you see this 55% right there, and then it is no wonder in the Kalshi prediction market. I mean, you could just see the movement towards
Good
Ken
grief.
Paxton. Look at this. On Monday, he had a 66% chance of winning. Up like a rocket, right? Up like a rocket. 95%. Houston, if you are in fact John Cornyn, you have a big problem. But if you're Ken Paxton, you have a big time solution. 2 thumbs up, as the president likes to say. Right now, the Kalshi prediction market gives.
Simple as that. Simple as that. Yeah, Fake Wizard, I was reporting on it. I'm going to jump back over there here in just a minute when we got a little bit more information, but I have already talked about it.
2 thumbs up to the idea that Ken Paxton is in fact going to be the Republican nominee.
The prediction markets have to be looking at what just happened in Kentucky and elsewhere. Give us some sense of, hey, they look at this, they're like, okay.
Yeah, this has been one of the best weeks for Donald Trump when it comes to endorsements. You saw it in Kentucky on Tuesday. I mean, just look at this. Look at this. Massie's Kentucky for GOP primary performances. In 2022, he got 75%. In 2024, he got 76%. In 2026, look at this.
Oh, look at that drop. Damn, Massie. What happened to all that arrogance which you were talking with? What happened to all of that bravado you were talking with? Damn.
Just 45%. The big difference was that Donald Trump came in, campaigned very vigorously against Thomas Massie. And when you go against President Trump, as I like to say, quoting the great film Good Burger, you go in the grinder. And that's exactly what happened to Thomas Massie, because Donald Trump is just a figure you don't want to mess with in Republican primaries.
It was not a
beautiful thing right there. So again, that's the bottom line. So the Dave Smiths of the world, you know, they can whine and they can cry and they can say it's Israel and all of this, whatever. The bottom line is the Don is in charge. The American people voted for the Don to be in charge. He won in a landslide. He overcame everything. He overcame the mainstream. He overcame Democrats, rhinos, big tech, assassination attempts, lawsuits, arrests. It didn't matter. They tried to rig the system against Trump, and the people rejected the rigged system. And he is the president, and he is the one in charge. Fall in line, do your job, or get the fuck out. That's what it's like to be in MAGA. Simple as that. Do your fucking job. And your job is to work for the American people. And the American people decided we want President Trump in charge of the United States of America. There it is. Okay, so let's get back to this really quick. By the way, Dougie B with 5 gifted memberships, 6 gifted memberships, 7 gifted memberships over on Kick. Thank you, Dougie B. Hail to you. The latest update we have here: rapid gunshots break out at the White House while ABC reporter is recording for the news. White House is on lockdown. President Trump inside. The press has been rushed inside. We do have a couple of new clips right here that I can show you. Give me just a minute. Right here. Smash JT raid. Thank you to the raid from Smash JT. Here is right here. New footage of people running inside and Secret Service coming out armed on the hunt for the active shooter. Thankfully, President Trump is inside, fully encased by bulletproof windows and security. Here we go.
A little bit blurry, but as you can see, these are various people, I assume news agencies, reporters, producers that are essentially running after hearing those gunfire. Shortly after that, you see various Secret Service agents storm and push people out to safety. Chris, give us a sense of what that moment was like, hearing that possible gunfire and then moving towards the direction that Secret Service was pushing you towards.
Right. So as Alex, as soon as we heard the gunshots, everyone kind of just froze. Like, wait a minute, are those gunshots? And then immediately we just ran for it, and the Secret Service simultaneously cleared everybody. And because this is Saturday night, it's not as busy as say it would be on a weekday here with all the network reporters and photographers. So it wasn't as busy. Maybe there's 24 of us right now in the press briefing room. But
a little bit blurry, but as you can see,
so there you have it right there. We also have this clip right here. Hang on, I just had it pulled up. We've got so many things right here. New video shows the moment gunfire broke out near the White House, sending reporters into a panic. Here we go.
Republican support on Capitol Hill is weakening.
Gun-free zone. Yeah, now that's the thing. And this is really shocking to me because from what I understand, there are signs up. And this is what I always feel safe when I go into a gun-free zone, because I'm like, oh, there's a sign. There's a sign that says no guns. We're safe, guys. We're safe. So like, hey, all the good guys, put your guns away because we're in a gun-free zone. So all the good guys, make sure we put those down, because we don't want to, because surely the bad guys are going to also oblige, right? So there's a sign. There's a sign. This is a 1:32 clip right here. And that's probably the video that we saw earlier. How did they get those guns past the sign? I know, right? It's so crazy, man. I can't believe it. Well, I'm going to be careful showing any definitive video of you-know-whats, because we've seen how YouTube AI treats that crap. Old Salty Dog for 10 says, Jeremy, please send a prayer up for me and my wife, Barry. We had to help our bestest boy, Charlie, over the Rainbow Bridge yesterday. We are broken right now. I am so sorry to hear that, brother. Prayers up for you and your family. Man, animals are the best. So prayers up indeed for both of you. So sorry to hear that. Rock Bottom says Trump totally needs his ballroom now. Hill Reps says we need bridge and power plant day. Send them to Ara. Minister Front Thing says Razor's Massie video is a must watch for everyone. Yeah, I got to check. I have that one listed. Mo Zamboni says the 9-Line meetup yesterday was great. It was a great time meeting everybody. And the 9-Line HQ was really cool. Jeremy was all right, I guess. Hail the 199. Thank you, Mo Zamboni. Good to see you, brother. Okay, so if you're just tuning in, we are trying to monitor all of this to see what exactly is happening. Just now, press have been released from the White House lockdown after an active shooter was reported. FBI is on the scene, supporting Secret Service and Kash Patel. This would indicate the threat is no longer imminent to the grounds specifically. Pray for POTUS and the Secret Service.
White House press briefing room. That's obviously a good sign, right, Jeffrey?
That would be a good sign. That means that the initial threat that they believed is either incapacitated or no longer present, or has been detained.
Yeah, so obviously we're still waiting to hear exactly what happened from White House officials. Obviously, our correspondent on the ground said he had heard what sounded like at least 30 gunshots. Again, not confirmed from any sort of official sourcing today whether or not it was actually gunfire. But we have Senator James Lankford weighing in, praying for the president's safety as he waits to hear more about what happened. Our News Nation national correspondent and White House correspondent Kelly Meyer just into our newsroom. FBI is on scene and supporting Secret Service, responding to shots fired near White House grounds. We will update the public as we're able to. So right there is our first official White House.
So there we have it right there. So yeah, man. Crazy times. As Trump is negotiating with Iran for a peace deal, we get, shots outside the White House. Welcome to the world of the Democrats. Yeah, the I am always surprised with the gun-free zones. You would think that gun-free zone people would know better. Like, hey guys, we have a sign. Can't bring that in here. Because, when I think about criminals, I think like, oh yeah, if you put a sign up, the criminal is clearly going to listen to that. If you put it like neon color so they can see it a little better. You know what I mean? So just if put neon colors, that way they can definitely see it. Vatloff says, enjoyed the hangout yesterday. Glad to see you made it back home to grift some more. You probably said drift, but grift some more. Looking forward to the next one. Yeah, I got you. Grift, autocorrect got me. All good, brother. Thank you so much. Good to see you as well. James OP says, Fox says a gunman came to Gate 17 firing shots in the direction of the White House. The Secret Service took him down. Another person hurt. All right. I'm glad you said that. Okay, here we go.
Situation again. This was somebody who had come up there, in 1994. But that's what this struck me as similar in terms of the fact that it was a Saturday afternoon, and the White House, gunfire being directed in the general direction of the White House.
Chad, Tom Shalhoub. So we were looking at social media when this first came out. We heard 30 shots fired. You mentioned it sounds like about 3 shots max from the shooter. And we're assuming the rest of those shots came from Secret Service. In your experience, how many guns are right there available? If a shooter opens fire at the White House, is there many guns that are able to be trained on them?
Absolutely. I mean, you have snipers, you have people all over the place. This is one of the most heavily fortified facilities in the United States. Again, I cover Congress. I walked into the Capitol.
Alyssa, 450 on Rumble. Thank you, Alyssa. I still have never forgotten how I went after you because I misread your super chat. I'm so sorry. For 50, she says, I knew you would be on. Thanks. Thank you, Alyssa. I'm not sure I'm ever going to forgive myself for roasting you when I was completely wrong and misread your super chat, but thank you.
Every day.
Did this just happen? Yes, this is live right now.
Routine day, 10 to 15 officers, and they're all armed, and these aren't even the heavily armed officers. The White House is fortified in a different way. So, yeah, I mean, that's where you might get up in that in that number until, as according to my source, that this suspect was taken down pretty quickly. And again, as I say, there are other, police forces in that area of Washington, D.C., the Metro Transit Police, Washington, D.C. Police, Capitol Police are not very far, George Washington University Police. You might have, if it's something that's just off the White House grounds, a Convergence Park Police, National Park Service is not very far.
Dougie B for 5 more gifted memberships on Kick. Doug B is lighting it up over there. Hail to you, brother. Thank you for the support on Kick. Thank you for the support on Rumble. Thank you for the support on YouTube. Thank you for wherever you're tuning in.
The National Mall, you might have a lot of people jumping into this depending on what the request might be or what officers see and hear.
And Chad, this also, for me, harkens back to, again, not too long ago when we had
Thank you, Beastie
somebody
Man.
show up at Mar-a-Lago, perhaps in a similar fashion to this. You mentioned the security presence and posture around the White House. One would expect it would be one of the most secure areas in the world, certainly in the country. So if somebody was in the vicinity and they're just shooting off, they had to have understood that they weren't going to get that close to the White House. I mean, for someone to do that and just shoot in the general direction, they had to have known that there would be a response pretty quickly. This couldn't have been somebody who thought they were getting the element of surprise here. It doesn't sound like someone very strategic.
They're not sending their best.
I talked about what happened in
They're not
1994.
sending their best.
This person just opened up fire on the White House on the other side. That was a completely different situation. I mean, you have had incidents down the White House where the threat has not been.
So if you're just tuning in, it sounds like the situation is completely under control. No reports of anyone being hurt at this point in time. And so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yes, the press was brought into the, a secure location. They have been since released from that location. The White House was locked down, but it sounds like they have taken care of the situation.
For the facility itself or the president of the United States himself, where you've had local crime in Washington, D.C. You might remember when President Obama was in office.
Is it a nothing burger? No, it's not a nothing burger. There were actual shots fired. There were several shots fired near the White House. So it is not a nothing burger, but it seems to be that the situation has been taken care of.
And it took them quite a while to figure this out. There had been what was alleged to be, gunfire, gun activity by gangs downtown. And I remember the Secret Service director testified that said, well, we don't know what it was. And they found out later that there had been.
So we have this right here. A gunman fired at the White House multiple times with firearm, causing U.S. Secret Service to return fire per Fox. The gunman has been taken down after being shot, Fox News reports. Yet another gunman trying to get at President Trump. Absolutely insane. I don't know what we have right here. And again, it needs to be noted that this is just a few hours ago. We got reports that Ivanka Trump was targeted.
Some breaking news this evening. There are reports circulating that first daughter Ivanka Trump has been targeted by an Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps trained terrorist in a revenge plot over the death of Iran's military chief, Qasem Soleimani, in a U.S. drone strike. The terrorist reportedly spoke of the plot, for which he supposedly had a blueprint of Ivanka's Florida home before his recent capture in Turkey. He has since been extradited to the U.S. So, Waleed, I want to get your reaction on this first. So, what do you think?
It's just crazy. So this is a very, very scary environment that we're in right now. We got Minister Von Thing says, check the tie before you die tax. Darth Gavels has criminalized the DNC. Dougie B with another gifted membership over on Kick. Pugs for 10 gifted memberships. Why didn't that show up on my, did you just send that? Pugs 4 for 10 gifted memberships on Rumble. Do we have a battle going on with Rumble, Kick, and YouTube? I'm liking this. But yes, so Pugs 4 with 10 gifted memberships over on Rumble. Thank you. Ministry of Wrong Thing says the way things work with the RRGC extremists, they've been running propaganda for months that they will make no deal with the USA. If they make a deal, the loyalists will kill them and the anti-regime will revolt. Dark Red Knight says there's video of the shooting. I think if that's the ones you were talking about, the ones I've played. Ministry of Wrong Thing says Tucker is now selling FAGA hats. No, seriously, there's no way. There's no way he's selling those. None. Not doing bad, Jeremy, for a dead channel. Well, listen. Okay, so I take these things seriously, okay? BC Man with a gifted membership over on Rumble. Another one, thank you. I take these things seriously, and I do have a plan, okay? I do have a plan. If everything falls apart, and this is just a hypothetical because clearly we're doing okay. As long as you guys, look at that. We got Gator dropping 100, 200, 300 kicks over on Kick. Thank you. So I'm not in a position to have to do this yet. But if, in fact, my channel does start to die, I have a plan. I have a foolproof plan. Okay? Are you ready? Are you ready to see what my plan is? This is one of the funniest things I've seen in a long time. We're going to head over to Alyssa Clips and watch a Kino Casino reaction. Delona with 20 gifted memberships. Let's freaking go. Thank you, Delona. So that's gifties flying on Kick, gifties flying on Rumble, and gifties flying on YouTube. And Can Man drops a gifted membership on Kick. All right, so if in fact my channel does start to die, I have a plan. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I'm going to start doing right here. Kino Casino reacting to the quartering, doing an ad read for Israel. I'm not making this shit up. I'm not making this up.
Wise Money Israel.
He is now promoting for $20. Wise Money Israel. Is it worth it? Like this is just listen to what this ad read is for. It is actually the first time that unironically it is actually just as Jewish as that sound effect, if not more so. So this is where if you want to invest your money in Israel, because they're our greatest ally, you can make sure that all of your investments are based in the nation of Israel.
It is based, no?
And it's like this, you're doing this for $20, and you know right well you're alienating a solid 30% of the audience, at least, on the right wing.
Okay, here we go. Wait, Ash. Okay, so I had a theory on the last show that he doesn't know what thing he's promoting until he hits the button, right? So my theory is they go sponsor time, you click it, and then it pops up and then you read it, right? Look at his reaction here. He did not know it would be this. Watch.
I'd assume that's true.
Watch.
He looks at us like, am I really doing this? He smiles. He's like, oh, am I really about to shill for Israel? Is Wise Money Israel?
I swear, it's so
bro, you don't have to, Jeremy. You don't have to do this for $20, bro. Like you don't have to do this, man.
So yeah, I had a theory last show that I'm like, they can't know what they're gonna spot. You know?
Oh my god!
Look at his face. He knew.
True.
Oh,
hey, huge shout out to
huge shout out to the big noses at Wise Money Israel.
This is sponsor. You love Israel. You stand with Israel.
Oh my God! You love Israel. You stand with Israel. You alert! You alert! Oh! literal Israeli shell at this point on his knees kissing the wall.
This is what Caesar accused us of.
This is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
I want to thank my audience more than I want to thank you so much for making it to where I'm never put in a position to have to blind read ads. Thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart. I never want to be in a position where I just have to whatever this next ad read is, oh, good Lord, man. This is insane. I can't believe that this is actually legit.
Love Israel. This is the assumption that you must love Israel. You all love Israel. Well, that's kind of a controversial statement in the Big 2-6, you know?
By the way, why is this on Rumble?
Sound for Israel.
Why is this on Rumble? This is some sort of
Bushy Bish goes, bro, no fucking way.
I'm actually losing my mind. This is the funniest thing I think we've ever clipped for Jer ever.
But did you huge shout out to this sponsor? You love Israel. You stand with Israel.
Someone said it's to Ralph.
You love Israel. You stand with Israel. Oh my God.
Israel. But did you know your portfolio can stand with Israel too?
Did you know that you can give all your money to the Jews? Did you know that? Did you know that you could invest all of your money in Israel?
I'm not going to watch this whole thing, but I had to show you guys a few minutes of it. It's the funniest thing I have seen. I was dying laughing watching these guys reacting to it. It's just, again, I don't care about Israel one way or the other. I like to meme on the anti-Israel crowd because they're so funny. But I obviously think there's a huge problem, or there's a problem with some of our politicians being overly tied to Israel. But at the end of the day, I don't care either way. But reading this ad, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Oh my goodness, this was amazing. John freaking Murdoch for 50 says, hey, Jeremy, you're welcome for not having to read to have ad reads on your channel. Hail IDOT, say hail the 199. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Right here. Somebody says, why you guys got something against Israel? I literally just said I don't care. Why are you so overly sensitive? Maybe I don't care. I talk shit about all these foreign countries, and yet I barely say anything that's slightly critical of Israel. Why do you oh my God, shut the fuck up, okay? Sensitive people. Number one rule on the internet, don't let somebody know something bothers you, or they're gonna, I'm just gonna roast it just to make you specifically mad, okay? Simple as that. Maybe he doesn't know. Maybe he doesn't. Hang on a minute. Okay, got paid. Love Israel. It's the greatest. We love Israel. Greatest ally. I just got my 7,000. So they're our greatest ally. Okay, 100%. Great job for the quartering. We stand with the quartering. We stand with Israel. We love Israel and the quartering. The quartering is just an upstanding person that has never lied and never struck channels and never gotten drunk and then never said he was going to stop drinking and then started drinking again. There we go. Okay. Check cleared. We're good. All right. Back to today's top story. We did have shots fired outside of the White House. All is good in terms of, at the last report, no one was injured. So, and they have captured and detained the person involved with it right here. Gunman fired at the White House multiple times with a firearm, causing U.S. Secret Service to return fire. The gunman has been taken down after being shot. Yet another gunman trying to get President Trump. So there we have it right there. So that's the latest update for the people that are curious, because I'm sure a lot of people are hearing about this, and so you're tuning in to see what's going on. That's the latest right there. We also have NBSD for 5 gifted memberships on Rumble. By the way, I did talk to Krista. I told her all of these channels, Rumble, Kick, YouTube, we've got to get the emojis going. We're going to get specific ones for each platform so that you got, and again, it's in the chat, you've got to give her feedback on what you want in these specific chats. And so you got to make the other chat more jealous. That's the whole point. Okay. That's the whole point. Now, why would I say that? Well, clearly I'm trying to turn you all against each other so I can make more money. That's seriously all I'm doing. And I think it'll work. So I can be like, hey, guy, hey, Kick chat. You hear what Rumble chat said about you? Damn, man, you guys need to step it up. Or I'll be like, hey, YouTube chat, you got the biggest audience, but like the Kick chat and the Rumble chat are actually like working together to kind of take you guys down. So like you guys might want to start donating more. I mean, just like that. I don't tell anybody that's what I'm doing, but I'm just letting you know that's probably what I'm going to do. I think that'll be pretty good. You got to instigate harder. President Trump is safe after White House shooter stormed up with a pistol and unleashed at least 3 shots before Secret Service obliterated him. The gunman never got inside the perimeter. A civilian was struck. We don't know how many shots the Secret Service got off. Here we go.
Gunfire near the White House. And I jumped in here because sometimes, when there's a threat at the White House or the executive branch, maybe there's something going on at the Capitol. So I started to dial in with sources there. We're told that this was on the west side of the White House grounds. Again, you have the White House and you also have the outer perimeter there, Gate 17, as it was described to me, near the Eisenhower Executive Office building. Somebody came up and brandished some sort of a pistol. I'm told that it was a pistol, in fact, not a long gun or a rifle or anything like that. And the alleged gunman got off at least 3 shots. And the United States Secret Service, who obviously prowl that area, some things might not be obvious to people walking by, but certainly to the people, guarding the perimeter. They responded to this. They're trained to respond to that gunfire. And I'm told, and this was the quote that was given to me, that they took the suspect down. Quote, they took him down. So this is a male suspect. I'm also told that somewhere in this process that a civilian was struck. We don't know how many shots that the Secret Service or other law enforcement might have gotten off. Again, they'll have to go through the ballistics evidence of this, and we don't know the condition of the gunman or the suspect. But the important thing here is that the President of the United States is safe and that the alleged gunman never got inside the White House perimeter.
So there you have that. Now, we do have this right here from Benny Johnson. Around 6 p.m., gunman approaches White House gate on west side. Gunman brandished a pistol, fired 3 times towards White House. Secret Service returned fire. Gunman taken down. Bystander on the street also hit. Gunman never got in the perimeter. So that's the latest update we have right there. Mike Zero Source says, damn, I chose to name Mike Zero Source to troll Mike Zero. I'm thinking about changing the name to the Quarterings Source. Probably a good idea. Probably a good idea at this point. Mar Millen says, hear me out. That ad read, but as Miki doing it as Jesse the Body Ventura on a rant. The Israel ad read? Here's what I'll do. I'll get somebody to do a pro-Israel ad read for enough money. Okay? Because that would be funny. That would be funny. I like that. And it has to be more than $20 so that the Quartering feels really bad that he had to do his ad read for 20. Let's see. Dark Warlord says, looks like the gunman was the dimmest bulb in the box. Thanks for covering this, Jeremy. Happy Memorial Day. Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate it for $21. Honestly, it might be funny to do just a $21 ad read, a $21 pro-Israel ad read, just because it's $1 more than the Quartering had to do his ad read for. Miniature Realm thinks his sleeper cells, IRGC, Lords of London are panicking. There's Delona with those 20 gifted memberships. Insane. East Coast Hosted Boy says Xerox Quartering is down bad for sponsors. Beardo Never the Infidel says Beardo literally saw Jay drunk 3PO outside at the White House. Axon says nobody in the competition can sniff out a better deal than Wise Money Israel. Justin becomes a new member. Thank you, Justin. Fantastic Stock says Quartering, I can get better seats for the Gina fight than the guys from G&G. Quartering contact someone who he thought can get him seats, but no reply. Is that true? Like, I know he was like throwing shade at us for going to the fight. Did he actually like contact someone? hilarious if that's the case. Bright Matt says, just saw the news. The left are evil. Glad Trump is safe and sound. The left are literally out for blood, and they are desperate. Pray for President Trump. Agreed. Minister Von Thing says, we sure shots were fired, or was the Secret Service reacting to Cash shouting shots after hearing about the defeat of Iran? I guess we will never find out. And Delona just drops 20 more gifted memberships. Holy crap. Well, YouTube has taken the lead, Rumble and Kick. We had, how many did we have on? We had 16 on Rumble. Now we're up to 40 on YouTube. And I think Kick had about 15. So there you go. Thank you, Delona, with 20 more. That's what's up. Dying channel, though. Yes, definitely a dying channel. John freaking Murdoch for 50 says, hey, Jeremy, is 50 enough for the Israel ad read? Yes. However, I'm not sure who will actually do it. I'll have to get, I kind of want to make Beardo do it just because that would be funny. So I may have to get Beardo to do that one. That would be pretty good. That's a good main event clip right there. That's a really good one. So I dig that one. Real Life Fake Wizard says make Beardo do it. Yeah, I think Beardo doing it would be fantastic. And yeah, honestly, we could probably tie in, like, I think a Rumble Wallet one would be a good one. So I'll talk to the guys. We'll work this out. I like where we're going. We're cooking. All right. Nick in says, thanks for coming to Savannah. Great group in attendance. For anyone who has never seen Jeremy in person, I've got 2 words for you. Beauty filter. Hey, got to do what I got to do. Look at that. Got the beauty filter on right now. Actually, no, I don't. Hang on. There we go. Now it's, look at that skin. Ooh, look at that. Look at that skin. Pristine, beautiful. My OnlyFans skin. All right, I'm turning that shit off. Hang on. Boom. There we go. Now, no more beauty filter. Sorry, it's over with. But thank you. I appreciate it, man. I'm glad you guys had so much fun. It was a lot of fun, and we're going to do more of those. John freaking Murdoch for 20. Steelstorm Gaming says old in all caps. Jeremy is 50. I'm not 50 yet. Not yet. I'm almost there, though. Nothing changes. He still looks the same. That's not true. Can you guys really not see the change when I turn the beauty filter on? Okay, look. All right. No beauty filter. Now, beauty filter. There's massive change. Marc-Andre Roy says, Jeremy looks good for 80. Listen, bro. I'm not into you, okay? I appreciate the compliment, but I'm not into you. So let's just dial that back. No beauty filter now. I do appreciate the compliment, but I'm not into you. Okay? I know what you're trying to do. And I appreciate the attempt, but it's not going to work. Okay? Thank you, John, for the 20 gifted memberships. Chad says, bring back mental instructions. You mean institutions? Fantastic Knox says that yes, true. Quartering mentioned it on one of his streams while tipsy. It was a facepalm worthy and very, very sad. That is crazy. Jeremy's aging better than Melanie Mack. No comment there. No comment. The quartering source. There it is. The quarterings source right there. Let's freaking go. Jeremy looks good for 80, like Trump is 6'4", 225, perfect health. I mean, dude, Trump is in perfect health. We've said this many times.
I just feel like a young man. I'm so young. I can't believe it. I'm the youngest person. I am a young, vibrant man. I look at Joe. I don't know about him. I don't know.
Macho man, yeah. Let's freaking go. Okay, now next up, we do have to talk about what happened today with the with Jackson Dart supporting President Trump of the New York Giants. This is causing a big outrage, okay? Big outrage. This is hilarious, okay? So we got Black conservative perspective pulled up, and this is so funny. But before we get to that, we got Zwani for $100. Says Beardo reading the ad in his Number of the Beast voice. I love that I'm grifting off of Beardo when he's not even here. That's my favorite part of this whole thing. Grifting off of Beardo and he's not even here. Chrissy is having Melanie Mack on again. There's no way. There's no way. Is that for real? Thank you, Zwani. Noted. It will be done. It will be done. Thank you, Zwani. And Nandy for 50 says Jeremy looking like a Texan gone liberal. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? I don't even know what that means. That's just mean, though. I appreciate it, Nandy. I know it's an insult. All right, so right here, check this out. Jackson Dart is the quarterback at New York Giants. He introduced President Trump, and they are mad. Okay, they are very mad. Check this out. Here we go.
This is a classic example of why not everybody should be invited to the cookout. What has Jackson Dart done in the NFL? He's been in the NFL for 2 minutes. And because he got some chains on, because doing the scuba, doing the Rakai dance, the Dougie, whatever the case may be with scat, now y'all saying, oh, he's invited to the cookout. For what? We got to start changing this stuff up, bruh. You can only be invited to the cookout if you've actually done something positive for the community. Because what they do, they take Black culture, they're outsiders, they appropriate, they take Black culture, and they never really try to pour back into the community, but instead they align with folks that deal with the opposite. They align with folks that plan to hurt the community. And I'm just so tired of this, and I'm so glad that Abdul Carter, who is the 3rd overall pick in the NFL draft, who is Jackson Dart's teammate, that he said, is this AI? What the hell is going on? And I need more athletes to speak truth to power. Be more like Abdul Carter. Be more like Jalen Hurts. And
oh, fuck off. All right. Fuck off with this nonsense. You motherfuckers have no problem when athletes talk about left-wing politics. But as soon as an athlete says something about a Republican or a right-winger, suddenly y'all cry like bitches. I have the same stance. I don't want to know any athletes' politics. But guess what? You guys made the rules. You guys determined that we got to hear all of these clowns' political opinions. First of all, not one single athlete's political opinion means shit to me. Not one of them. I don't give a fuck about any of their political opinions. What I do find entertaining, though, is all of you lefties that are always talking about how we need to hear more from athletes. You guys lose your mind when an athlete has a right-wing opinion. Go fuck yourself.
Speak up, have some morals, have some integrity, and all we know is that the same respect Jackson Dart had before this BS rally is not going to be the same with his teammates in New York. And that's real talk.
Boy. So we got to follow up on our coverage of the drama that is happening with the New York Giants, as you have liberals and Democrats upset, boohoo, whine, and crying over the star quarterback for the Giants, Jackson Dart, introducing President Trump ahead of his speech in New York. I'm pretty sure most of you guys have seen this. If you haven't seen it, if you didn't watch my first video on this, I'm going to go ahead and play this clip real quick.
What's up? Yeah. Big Blue Nation, it's a pleasure to be here. I got to start this off with a Go Big Blue. I'd love it if y'all will follow with me. Go Big Blue. Go Big Blue. Go Big Blue. Go Big Blue. What an honor, what a privilege it is to be here. And without further ado, I'm grateful, I'm honored.
Let me just say this, and I have a question for the chat. Do you guys think that Jackson Dart is winning on and off the field? Just a question. What do you guys think? Think Jackson Dart's winning on and off the field? Just a question.
I'm pleasured to introduce the 45th and 47th President of the United States of America, President Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, you guys get the gist of what's going on here, right? He introduced the president. I personally don't see what the issue is. It's the off season. He's doing it in his personal time. He's simply just introducing the president. I don't see what the issue is, to be honest with you. I really don't, right? But again, of course, liberals and Democrats do have a big issue with this, which is why their mouthpieces, their black mouthpieces, are all over the internet losing their minds over Jackson Dart simply introducing the president of the United States.
Hey, this real quick, man. I mean this in the most respectful way. Definitely hope this don't come off the wrong way. But this is a message to my black athletes, especially at the professional level and the collegiate level. This is just a thought I had. I just seen the clip with Jason Dart introducing 47, and I said to myself, man, this shit is interesting to me. Like, the white boys ain't got no problem letting you know where the fuck they stand. They don't give a fuck about no gas prices, $5. He ain't give a fuck about no Iran war. He don't give a fuck about no $1.7 billion slush fund. He don't give a fuck about them redrawing the maps and want black folks to be.
The chat is killing me right now. The chat is
represented by white folks. He don't give a fuck about none of that. Jason Dart saying, bitch, I'm letting you know this why I stand. This how I'm rocking. This how I'm motherfucking rocking. That's just that. I wouldn't give a goddamn how many Cuban links he wear and do the motherfucking stanky leg in the motherfucking end zone. All that shit that he do to try to make you think he cool. Like, he don't give a. He's telling you, this my motherfucking guy. This my motherfucking guy. Not just him, motherfucking the Bosa's motherfucker out there doing his dance during the motherfucking regular season. And I'm saying to myself, why is it that the white boys ain't got no motherfucking problem letting you know where they stand? They don't give a fuck no endorsement. They ain't give a fuck none of that. But when it come to us, we scared to motherfucking chew gum too motherfucking loud. I'm cool if you ain't into the politics. I get all of that. But
you're too scared to chew gum too loud, but you're not too scared to use the speakerphone as the default when you're in public. Make it make sense. Speakerphone is not the default in public. I don't want to hear your fucking conversation or your music in public, you dumb fuck.
Into motherfucking some. If it ain't even for your own motherfucking good. And I know it's the bronze of the world. You got some motherfuckers on the front line. But for the most part, I'm trying to motherfucking figure out, why is it the white boys is cool with you motherfucking knowing where they motherfucking stand?
Yeah, so you see that, you heard that. I can never get enough of liberal tears. Okay, my cup overfloweth with liberal tears. It has been overflowing for the last year and a half, right? Since Trump got in office. These people have been crying about everything. They're crying about the quarterback of the New York Giants introducing the president. Oh, he made it known to the world that he's MAGA. It's like, what did you think? What did you think? Seriously, just logically speaking, why would a tall, good-looking, white, Christian, straight NFL quarterback be a Democrat, right? Why would he support Democrats? Why would he not be a Trump supporter? I mean, at the very least, just considering the financial decision, this guy literally.
Again, it's classic Democrat bullshit. use your voice, speak up. Okay. So this guy uses his voice and speaks up. Well, not like that. You can't have that opinion. It's like, so what you're saying is use my voice to say what you want me to say. Well, you can go straight to hell because I'm not going to repeat what you want. And that is how the Democrats are. It's not about using your voice. It's about using your voice for what they want you to use your voice for.
He lives in New York, right? He plays for the New York Giants. He has a vested interest in getting politicians elected that are not going to take away half of his wealth. Okay. I mean, hey, when you're an NFL quarterback, we're in NFL period. You never know when your career is over, right? You know, you could tear something can snap. It's over. It's done. You can't make any more money. So he has a vested interest in making sure that he supports the party that at the very least is going to allow him to keep more of his own money. In fact, the president actually gave a big favor to these Republicans in these blue states when it comes to the SALT deduction. In the big, beautiful bill, they basically brought that back, okay, allowing a lot of these individuals in these blue states to save more money on federal taxes. And yeah, I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, from a financial perspective, you know, Jackson Dart should be very thankful to the president. I totally get it from the perspective of.
I'm hoping, and I don't know a lot about Jackson Dart, so I'm hoping he does not bend the knee. But this is the whole point: is that a lot of his liberal teammates are going to try to force him to bend the knee, and they're going to force him to apologize. That is what they want. That is their goal. That's their goal of posting this. And of course, this is going to get all of this attention on Twitter and social media. And my gut feeling, without not knowing about a lot about Jackson Dart, he's not a superstar quarterback. So in order to keep the peace, it's almost like he's going to have to bend the knee because he doesn't have the pull or the clout to actually overcome this. That would be my gut feeling on it.
Jackson Dart, right? Wanted to introduce the president, understanding that the president had saved him a lot of money, right? And his teammates a lot of money. But apparently, some of his teammates are unappreciative of what the president has done to save them some money on taxes. Like, for example, Abdul Carter, who is a pass rusher for the New York Giants. He also was drafted very high by the New York Giants last year.
We've also just been through a lot, this year together. And I think that when you come from situations where, you're consistently winning and you're playing at a high level, and then, this year there's just a lot of adversity thrown at us. And, us being able to, have those like vulnerable conversations. And, I think like for him, like it spoke volumes to who he is and how he was able to bounce back and really finish, this back half of the year at a really extremely high level. And, he's just a guy who is very intense, is very passionate about, winning and competing. And, he gave a speech to the whole team after our last game. They're just talking about, going forward and how we need to create a new standard around here. So, we've had a lot of things to bond over, and I'm really excited for the future.
And he is now speaking out against his own team.
I wonder what Abdul Carter thinks about Lawrence Taylor hanging out with President Trump. Why don't we get a retweet where you're calling out LT?
I grew up a Democrat, and I've always been a Democrat until I met this man right here. I'll tell you what. He will not have to worry about nobody in my family ever vote for a Democrat again. Okay.
Where you at, Abdul Carter? Let's call out LT.
For simply just introducing the president, right? He says, thought this ish was AI. What we doing, man? Yeah. So this dude is upset. He's triggered. And he's publicly attacking his own teammate, the starting quarterback for his team, over simply introducing the president at a rally in New York.
Yeah, like it's not like he said anything. Like he didn't even take a stance on anything. He didn't disrespect anybody. All he did is introduce Trump, the president of the United States of America. That's all he did. He didn't go out there. He didn't attack anybody. He didn't disrespect anybody. He didn't give you any reason to have to speak out against him. He simply just introduced the president. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less.
Wow. So we have a full-blown locker room situation.
Within 10 seconds of receiving this super chat, Dennis says, I quit watching Doom Cop because he missed my $10 super chat. Let's see what Jeremy does. You're welcome, Dennis. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it.
Happening with the New York Giants because the starting quarterback supports President Trump. That's what we have here. And of course, you have Democrats, liberals, coming to the defense of Abdul Carter, right? Basically, cheering on him, dividing the locker room, attacking the starting quarterback of his own team.
Shout out to Abdul Carter because he's seemingly the first NFL player I can think of that's called out one of their dumbass teammates for dick riding Trump. Especially, dude, Jackson Dart, it is 2026, brother. Like, if you don't even want to acknowledge the probability that he is most likely, he is harassing innocent U.S. citizens.
He is harassing U.S. citizens. He is a very dangerous misogynist and a racist. He is very, 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 very much caught up in Israel politics. He is controlled by Israel. He was on the Epstein list.
With ICE, you don't have to acknowledge those two things. You don't, if you don't want to, even though you probably should. How about you acknowledge the fact that he's sending soldiers to uselessly in the Middle East for, frankly, no good cause? It's not for an issue that's important. Or do you want to acknowledge the fact that he straight up says he doesn't care about poor people? He straight up said if you can't afford to live, buy less coffee. And I know some of you are watching this and you're barely able to make rent. You're going to still dick ride. I mean, it doesn't really make sense to me, but like, that's who Jackson.
This is 100% like the biggest reason that I support Trump. Now, again, I am a huge fan of Trump. I like Trump. I like his policies. I love what he's doing for America, all of that. That's fine and dandy. From that perspective, he's just another politician that's doing a good job. But what takes my support for Trump over the top is to piss off people like this guy. I take so much pride in knowing that they don't like me because I support Trump. It makes my day. It's glorious that these clowns get so offended because someone supports Trump.
Starts defending in spite of all this. That's who he's deciding to go, oh, let me go shake your hand. And it's great that someone finally decided, I don't really care about this team chemistry shit. What are you doing hanging out with this guy?
Yeah, so we're going to talk about the team chemistry aspect of all of this because, of course, you have some former NFL players, including former Giants players, coming out and speaking on this situation. And Abdul Carter openly criticizing his own quarterback simply for introducing the president. But first, I want to talk about a little bit of hypocrisy here from Abdul Carter. As you can see, Abdul here, when he got drafted last year, he showed up in an Islamic
franchise
outfit.
of Lawrence Taylor.
Okay? So what you see here is his family, right? This outfit is, again, is Islamic outfit, right? You can also see full-blown burqa, okay? Yeah, this guy is very outspoken about his religious beliefs.
Something that's never been done before. Just pay homage to what got me here. That's praying to Allah, praying to God, worshiping, being a Muslim. So just paying homage. It's my incredible chain, my nickname, just doing everything at the highest level, the most incredible level. Trying to take that into everything I do, just being incredible.
Yeah. So this guy has absolutely zero issues whatsoever expressing his faith at the NFL draft, right? Letting everybody know he's Muslim. He, prays to Allah, right? All praise be to Allah, right? Like he has no problem with making that known, right? He has no issues whatsoever.
I do appreciate the narrative that he's building right here, because this is exactly it. Like, you have your opinions, nobody cares, all right? But now you're trying to force your opinions onto everyone else. Go F yourself.
Putting his faith out in front for the world to see, to hear. He has no issues with that. But let one of his teammates simply introduce the president, making his political beliefs known. And again, this it's not an NFL draft. This is at a political rally in the offseason. Okay? Oh, all of a sudden there's an issue, right? It's a big deal. But at the NFL draft, before he takes a snap at all, right, in the NFL, this guy is openly expressing his religious beliefs, right? He's expressing his faith, which I have no problems with his free speech, right? I have no problem with him expressing his faith and what he believes. I don't care about that. It doesn't matter to me. As long as everybody can do it equally. If Muslims can do it and not receive any backlash, then Christians should be able to do it. But we know we live in a world where Christians can't openly express our faith, right? We can't openly do that. Okay, you guys remember what happened to Harrison Butker, the kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs? How the world lost their minds, right? They lost.
Remember what happened to Tim Tebow?
Their minds over him simply expressing his Christian viewpoints at a Christian commencement ceremony, right? A Christian college. He spoke at a commencement ceremony, expressing his Christian beliefs about the role of women, which was biblically accurate. And everybody lost their minds. Okay. But again,
and that right there kind of that symbolizes exactly the issue, or that should make everybody, if you're on the fence on things, and again, I'm not telling you what you should or shouldn't believe, but if you're on the fence, you have to ask yourself, like, why are they so against Christianity? What is the deeper meaning behind that? Why are they so against Christianity? Why are they so adamant about silencing that? Just use a little common sense, man. Just use a little bit of common sense.
If you're Muslim and you speak out on your faith, right? You express your faith at the draft. You bring your religion into sports. Well, it's no big deal, right? And if you say anything about it, if you call it hypocrisy, then you're a bigot, right? You're an Islamophobe. I'm just trying to figure out, why is it this guy think it's okay for him to be outspoken on his religious beliefs, but it's not okay for his teammate to be outspoken?
Because he's a liberal. And I know you know this, Greg, but I'm just answering the question. Because he's a liberal, and this is how liberals operate. This is how liberals think. Liberals believe that they can tell you what they believe, and they can push their ideology or their agendas or their beliefs onto you, but you are not allowed to say anything back. Under no circumstances can you say something back, because you saying something back challenges them, and they can't stand to be challenged.
On his political beliefs. Now, again, keep in mind, this was not an NFL event. It was not a Giants event. It was completely independent of that. In the offseason, on his own time, having nothing to do with the NFL, he introduced the president. That's it. And for whatever reason, he's not allowed to do that, right?
Pugs4 gifted 10 more Rumble memberships. Let's freaking go. Krista, has she been in the chats? I haven't seen her, but I know she was supposed to be looking out for these to see what you guys were wanting over there. She'll be taking notes.
Poole Carter is very triggered by that. So you have some former NFL players, Giants players, who are speaking out on this, and they're saying, no, you should not do this, right? That this is a bad look for Abdul Carter to openly call out his own teammate for introducing the president. Lawrence Tons, who played for the Giants, says the locker room is a sacred place because it brings everyone together from all walks of life and beliefs for one common goal. Calling a teammate out publicly for his political views and to get attention is nasty work. Correct, right? absolutely correct. This is what's dividing the locker room, right? You also have another former NFL player speaking out on this.
All right. This message is for Abdul Carter. I saw your tweet, and I'm going to tell you this once. If the Giants PR team already hasn't told you so, and if your uncles, aunties, grandmammies, daughters, sisters, nephews, brother hasn't told you, my brother, please shut the fuck up and dribble.
Yes.
In other words, stop
Yes.
talking about your teammates' political beliefs on the TL. All these people, all these burner pages going to tell you to keep voicing your opinion. Abdul, there is a time and place for you to talk about the things that hold dear to your heart, but talking about your political beliefs and your disbelief, especially in a teammate's political beliefs, ain't the time to do as an active NFL player, let alone this guy's your quarterback one. Abdul, you got to go to war with this guy on Sundays, right? You have to be there with him. This guy has to share a locker room with you. If you didn't believe in his political beliefs, be a man and go talk to him about it face to face. Don't go to Twitter. That's some ultimate bullshit. That's some little kid shit. Leave that shit at Penn State, right? It's the NFL. 2020 COVID, I was a part of a locker room where there was a lot of disbelief. I had a lot of Republican teammates. I had a lot of Democratic teammates. It was the middle of COVID, the whole George Floyd incident, everything else under the sun. But you know what? When there was disbeliefs and disagreements, we always went to each other face-to-face in the locker room. Don't take this shit to Twitter, bro. Come on, grow up.
I agree with this 100%. 100% I agree with this. Okay? Apparently they're boys. So Abdul Carter definitely has this man's number. And he could have called him up and say, hey, man, you know, I had a problem with what you did for X, Y, and Z reasons, which I just think is lame in and of itself. I have friends who are very liberal, who are woke.
Yeah, so I mean, make sure you subscribe to Black Conservative Perspective. Greg is an awesome dude. The bottom line on this is the Democratic mindset versus the non-Democratic mindset. And I want to be clear about that. It's not saying that it's a Republican mindset. It's just people that are not crazy liberals. People that aren't crazy liberals typically don't care. They're like, all right, you have your beliefs. That's cool. But liberals, they look at anybody that has a belief that's different from theirs and they think that you're threatening them. And it's absolutely nuts. But it's not surprising at all. I don't know how much faith I have that Jackson Dart won't bend the knee to this. I have no idea. But I hope he doesn't. But I don't have a ton of faith that he won't. So time will tell how this all works out. But hopefully he stands firm. We'll see. Greg is top notch. Yes, he is. He's great. He's great. Okay, let me read a few super chats, and then we got more stuff to talk about. We have Jackson Cagle says, do a cannonball run. I would like to. Hill Reps says, YouTube is Jeremy's favorite. We win bigly, bigly. Dark Warlord says that the beauty filter only gives you a lisp and makes you sound more feminine than normal. YouTube censorship. East Coast Toasted Boy says, have Beardo on FNT. Just do an Israel Jewish ad read. Then after he's done, immediately kick him off the stream. I like that plan. Lying Dogface Pony Soldier with a gifted membership. Mudkip says, how much for a Mickey to reenact Wilford Brimley's ad? That's a good one too. I will pull that one into the Rumble wallet. That's what I might have to do with that one. I'm going to use the hell out of these guys on main event. It's going to be fantastic. I saw that little Orphan Funk Hauser. I'm seeing if we get any confirmation before I run with that story. Sly Rye for 10 says, this is the liberal mindset. They can't even acknowledge that Trump is president. So when he just introduced him, that's acknowledging it. And then you're seen as fully endorsing him in their minds. 199. You are correct. 3 for 10 says, I guess all those black folks bitching about don't feel like Trump making sure their black colleges stay permanently funded is enough. Exactly. Where's all the rich athletes at giving back to the community? 100%. Good to see you here, 3. Let's see. Thunder's Wraith says Christianity is the basis for decency and order. Anyone, Christian or not, can live safely under those societal conditions. If you're against Christianity, you're pro-evil, plain and simple. I don't disagree with the thing you just said right there. I don't. So now we got to talk about what I consider, and this is a story I talked about briefly the other day. This is just incredibly sad, and we have to follow up on the Kyle Busch story. So obviously the other day when I went live, you know, it was very early on with what happened with Kyle Busch. And we now have confirmation as to what happened. So NASCAR legend Kyle Busch passes away from severe pneumonia, which progressed into sepsis. This is still an unbelievable story that I cannot comprehend at all. He was 41 years old. I've been watching Kyle Busch for 20 something years. I don't fully understand this. He won a race the weekend before. And oh man, this is just an awful situation. And I mean, he was doing it. There's video of him 2 days prior to when he went into the hospital. And so we're getting a lot of, we're getting a lot of videos here. This one in particular, I just think it's important to show. This was Kyle Busch noticing that someone had he saw one of his fans while he was driving. I believe this was him and his wife, Samantha. This is an awesome moment right here.
Do it. Roll down your window. Maybe she can.
Hey, what's up? How are you?
I freaking love y'all.
Yeah.
I love y'all. You shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm sorry. Oh my god.
Thank
you. Are
you.
freaking awesome.
Good to see you guys. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm so happy you won.
That's freaking cool, man. And so his son is a racer. His son is 11 years old. And they're actually they announced, and again, I'm a little torn on this announcement, but obviously Kyle Busch was racing with Richard Childress Racing and was racing the number 8 for Richard Childress Racing. So they are basically going to, and Brexton is his son, and his son is very good for an 11-year-old. They are retiring they're reserving the number 8 until his son is old enough to race in NASCAR. I think I'm very mixed on this, because on one hand, I love the sentimental value to this. I love this. But on the other hand, this is a lot of pressure to put on an 11-year-old man who just lost his father. You know what I'm saying? But I do appreciate the sentiment behind it. But the kid's 11 years old, man. The kid's 11 years old. That's a lot of pressure. Big time. Now, Brexton has updated his profile picture, and this is him hugging his dad after a recent win. I don't know if this was the most recent win or not, but that's his profile picture right there. Incredibly, incredibly sad, man. This is just heartbreaking on every single level. And, this is Brexton 2 days before his dad went into the hospital. This is 2 days before Kyle Busch went into the hospital, celebrating his 11th birthday. This is 2 days. This is crazy, man. I am having so much trouble comprehending all of this and understanding this. Now, listen, Kyle Busch was pretty blunt on the racetrack, and he was not always nice to the media. And this is one of my favorite moments, because he was really pissed off after a race, and this is how he treated the media. And this is why I love the Kyle Busch. This is vintage Kyle Busch dealing with the media.
Everything's great. Looking forward to getting back to the racetrack and getting into my race car.
Are you okay with Joey moving forward?
Everything's great. Really looking forward to getting in my race car and getting back here at Phoenix.
Speaking of that, are you glad that this is over now? You can get in the car where you're comfortable to get back to racing?
Everything's great. Really looking forward to getting back into my car and being here in Phoenix.
Joey called you this week. Is that a positive?
Everything's great. Looking forward to getting back into my car.
Good luck. Thank you.
Okay, there's a bit of.
So that's classic Kyle Busch right there. And he was very much brutal to the media, which is why, I mean, people loved him, people hated him. But this is what he was all about. Yeah, this is the video of his son running up and hugging him. This is just crazy, man. That was last weekend. Is this the last one that he won last weekend? That's just brutal. I don't understand it, man. I don't understand how he can have pneumonia and no one knew about it, really. I mean, again, I'm not a fucking doctor, clearly, but this is just stunning in every way. This is honestly, as a NASCAR fan, as much as the Earnhardt thing is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Obviously, Earnhardt was racing and he was competing, and that is still the craziest thing ever. But like, this guy's just like, he got pneumonia and he's dead, and he won a race the previous week. And I just don't understand it. Now, there's a lot of people that are pushing like theories like Kobe Bryant, number 8, dead at 41. Kyle Busch, number 8, dead at 41. Same initials, same number, same age. Do you see what's coming next? Okay, first of all, Kobe Bryant was not number 8 when he retired. He was number 24. He was number 24 for, I think, the majority of his career. It might have been close with how much he wore number 8 versus number 24. Number 2, Kyle Busch is more known for being number 18 when he was with Joe Gibbs Racing, not number 8. I think he only won like 3 races in the number 8. So this is just, and now like people are like, oh, well, because Kyle Busch recently won a lawsuit against a insurance company. And so Kobe Bryant had won a lawsuit against a pharmaceutical company. So now people are like, oh, did they take out Kyle Busch? Yeah. Kyle Busch was Kyle Busch was the number 1 enemy. They had to take him out. I'm like, what are you talking about? So again, those theories are out there. Is that a Pakistani account? That's a good question. I don't know. Let's see. No, North America. So there you go. But yeah, just stupid. These theories are out there, and I think they're stupid, but it's out there. And I wanted to point out that I have seen some of those. And yeah, man, super, super sad. Kyle Busch, rest in peace. Never in a million years would I thought that I'd be saying those words in this year. But there we are. Zwanny for $100. Thank you, Zwanny. Hail to all the veterans, especially those in the chat. You are appreciated, respected, and honored. I am grateful for your service every day, but I'm glad we have a day to specifically reflect on all of the sacrifices you made for our freedom. Salute. Thank you so much, Zwanny. Really appreciate it. And by the way, I mean, that's one of the things that I'm very excited with the 9line thing, because 9line is very supportive of veterans, first responders. They do a lot for them. And that's one of the conversations we were having about that. Is I said, listen, we were talking about like geeks and gamers and the community we have and all of that. And I said, listen, here's the thing about me. I don't like promoting companies that are just like a random company that's just like, hey, we're going to give you money. Like there needs to be a reason for me to tell our people that we're working with you. And obviously we've already developed a good relationship with them. Jay's been working with them for a while, but the element of supporting the military and first responders is huge. And so, yeah. So anyway, thank you, Zwanny. And thank you to all of the brave veterans out there. White House shooter is dead. Is that confirmed? I did see that there was updates that he was in critical condition. Okay, there it is. Yep, I just saw. So thank you for that in the chat, and thank you, Swanee. Breaking: the suspect who opened fire at the White House has died. The White House has confirmed President Trump was at the White House tonight, but is unaffected. He is continuing to work. The president is an absolute fighter. There we have it right there. All right. So that's a good update. Lord Sunnyman says, which do you like more, Mario Galaxy 1 or 2? This is always a tough question to ask, but I tend to go Galaxy 1 because to me, there's just something like the soundtrack to Galaxy 1 is incredible. I love that Yoshi is in Galaxy 2. There's something special about Galaxy 1. They're both like essentially they're the same game. It's almost like Galaxy 2 is a DLC version of Galaxy 1, but I tend to go Galaxy 1 mainly because of that music, like the soundtrack and Galaxy, and they're both great. The soundtrack's great in both of them, but I got to go with Galaxy 1 barely, but there's no wrong answer. There's no wrong answer. Lord Botha says, don't know if you saw or care, but Chrissy is doing a second stream with Melanie tonight. I'm sure that will go well. I've just been told about this. So like, I'm going to be sitting there with popcorn. Okay. And I want to make it clear because a lot of retarded people have accused me of being canceling Chrissy and all this. You have never heard me say you should unsubscribe to Chrissy. You have never heard me say that you should never support her. You have never heard me say you shouldn't watch her. You have never heard me tell anyone to not support her. My opinion is I think she made some big time mistakes in the way she handled herself, but we're all human. I make mistakes every day. Of course I do. So I think that she should continue to do whatever she thinks is best for her channel, and the internet will figure out how they feel about that. Simple as that. If you think you want to subscribe to her and support her, you should do that. You should send her all your money if that's what you want to do. That's my official stance on it right there. And if someone else disagrees, then that's fine. They can disagree. But ultimately, that is not cancel culture. There is nothing even remotely close to cancel culture about that. Ultimately, she has decided to go down a road that, you know, she's tied to some very, very strange people that kind of go against what I think our idea of the internet is, which is not disrespecting the chat, not standing with false flaggers. But if you choose to do that, you can. You should be able to do that. You should have the right to do that. But it doesn't mean that I'm going to want to hang out with you. But I will hang out with John freaking Murdoch, because John freaking Murdoch for a proper 199 says happy Memorial Day. Thanks for all of those who are serving and all who have served. Thank you so much, John freaking Murdoch. Hail to you, brother. Thank you as always. And salute to the veterans out there. Nandy for 50 says, any updates on the bystander? Who shot the bystander? Secret Service or the Fig? I don't know. And usually you're on top of this news quicker than I am, Nandy. So have we heard anything about it? Let's see. Worski false flagged years ago, so clearly not. You got any proof of that? And by the way, do I have him on my channel? What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, oh my God, you stand with Worski. Why? Because I say Kino Casino's entertaining? They are. But yeah, so, I mean, if you have a problem with that, then here's what you should never do. You should never support someone you don't want to support. But I find Worski and the Kino Casino incredibly entertaining. And I've also said at some point they're going to roast me, because welcome to the fucking internet. That's what they do. Somebody came in my chat the other day and was like, Jeremy, I tried to watch Kino Casino and they were being mean to Trump. I'm like, yeah, that's what they do. I didn't tell you to go over there and get your fucking political opinions from them or moral opinion. I said, go watch them because they're fucking funny, because they are funny. Did I go over there and go get life lessons from Andy Worski and PPP? I didn't fucking say that. I said, go watch them roast the living fuck out of losers on the internet. Is that some kind of like moral fucking, oh God, Jeremy, I can't believe you sent me to a show and told me these guys roast fat losers on the internet. And I can't believe I found out something bad about them. The fuck did you expect? Did I say go, you know what? Here's what you can do. If you're offended by Worski and PPP, do you know what you can do? I'll link you to Bible Time with Melanie Mack. Okay. And you can go listen to Bible readings from Melanie fucking Mack. Okay. Maybe that'll make you feel a little more safer. Okay. Because the big bad casino said something mean about Trump. Go listen to Bible Time with Melanie fucking Mack. Bring some earplugs though. Let's see. Hot Pocket for 10 says, Doc on Fox, it says, he just gotten out of his race simulator and the G-forces those caused could have made things much worse. Yes, he was in a racing simulator talking about Kyle Busch. He was in a racing simulator. It's so crazy, man. I'm heartbroken by it, man. I really am. Zindy Biscuit says, my uncle and I were talking about Kyle today. He said pneumonia and sepsis is how his mom passed. Said once it turns sepsis, it's pretty much done. It's crazy, man. Like, I don't know, man. I mean, me being in my 40s and like I'm looking at like Kyle Busch and I'm like, gosh, man, like I could be gone tomorrow. That's what struggles with me when these things happen is like, I mean, it could happen to any of us. BC Man says Trump gave a tribute to Kyle's death too. He did. And as a matter of fact, what's crazy about Trump's Kyle Busch tweet, this was shocking from Trump, actually. Let me show you guys this. I was very, very shocked at Trump's post. Right here. Trump posted this. The legendary NASCAR driver Kyle Busch tragically and unexpectedly passed away yesterday. He was a true talent who loved NASCAR and its fans. Kyle was a winner. He was a two-time Cup champion, and he holds all-time record for wins in NASCAR's top 3 series, and even won another just last weekend. Kyle's wife, Samantha, and their 2 beautiful children are in our thoughts and prayers. Samantha was at the White House in October for IVF. She truly loved Kyle. Rest in peace, Kyle. You will always be a legend, President Donald J. Trump. Do you know what is amazing about this right here? And I'm saying this with all love and respect for President Trump. He didn't make this about himself. He didn't even make it political. He didn't say like Kyle was really loved MAGA. Like he didn't. That's crazy for Trump. Usually when Trump does this, it's making it about Trump or making it about MAGA. And he didn't say that at all. That is one of the most respectful posts from Trump I have ever seen. That's crazy. Like I could see, normally Trump would go, he was a true talent who loved NASCAR, who loved and its fans and MAGA. That's normally what Trump would say. He would add MAGA into it, but he didn't. So yeah, man. And in my opinion, as a NASCAR fan, I don't believe, like, I know Kyle Busch was respected when he was here. I don't personally believe Kyle Busch got the true respect that he deserved when he was here. I have always felt that Kyle Busch is one of the 5, maybe even 3 most talented, pure talented NASCAR drivers I've ever seen. Just raw talent. He's right there. He's right there with Earnhardt and Tony Stewart. Like, just pure talent. Kyle Busch had it. He doesn't have the championships that Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson and all that, but like just true raw will man talent. He was right there, man. Dude was next level. But now he's getting that respect. Sadly in death. Let's see here. TJ says, rest in peace, Kyle Busch and Danny Go Jr. Philip Butler says, if you put people on a pedestal, they will jump off. Packy Proton says, apparently Iran says they are not near a deal and the strait will remain closed, hoping for bombs. Jeez. Beardo pre-ordered Starfield said, instead of Melanie Mac, you could link me to Benology. Yikes. Are you kidding me, bro? Little Orphan Funkhauser says, apparently Chrissy's stream is pre-recorded since it's showing a premiere. Anyways, this show sucks. See you next stream. Thank you. So it's pre-recorded? Wow. There you go. Alex Arrowcave says, I've had pneumonia and sepsis. Wasn't fun. Damn, bro. You are a soldier. You are an absolute soldier, Alex. Miniature Ron thinks has just posted proof of Tucker's hats in the snake pit. This is crazy if this is real. Hang on. Right? Oh, man, I just had it. You're telling me that there's no way the Tucker Carlson store has these? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What is he doing? What is he doing? John freaking Murdoch says, question, do you pull G's in the racing simulator? Was it on, what is that, Centrifuge? The picture I see on the internet looks more like a souped up gaming rig. I haven't seen exactly what this simulator is. I've just heard reports of it. So I don't know how intense the one he has. I know some of these guys have really intense racing simulators. So I don't know the specifics though, John. Maybe somebody in the chat has. Yeah, I mean, what does this even stand for? I don't even know what this stands for. Mod Eric says, what fighter do you think was best in the European theater and Pacific theater? Many great choices to pick from, says Mod Eric. Go to the website. It's really there. That's amazing. Good job, Tucker. I hope it works out for you, buddy. I hope it works out for you. It was a pro simulator at a factory. That's amazing. The White House shooter has died and brutally failed to get President Trump. He didn't even breach the grounds. Thank you. Good. Thank you, Secret Service. The demonic forces will keep losing. There it is right there. So another one bites the dust. So there you have it. Let's see. I want to look at that one. What is this? Is this earlier? Gunshots?
What is that?
Sounds like fire.
That's a lot of shots.
Today, but this obviously comes just a couple of weeks after a shooting at the White House correspondence.
That's a lot of shots. What is that? Oh, that's just a backfire of a car. No worries. Just a Nissan Altima. So it's no big deal. Don't worry about it. Won't be a problem. But hey, you know what? You missed again, bitch. So there you have it. What's wrong with her lips? I don't know. Real quick before we wrap this up, though, again, yesterday had a great meetup at 9line with all the peeps. It was a great day. I appreciate everybody showing up. We had a lot of fun. And of course, I go there, okay? And guess who Jay is hanging out with when I get there? Oh, just guess. Guess who Jay's hanging out with? I get there, and Jay is hanging out with Baby Yoda. Not from The Mandalorian. No. Jay's hanging out with this chick right here because that's what Jay does, okay? Here's her Instagram. This is who Jay's hanging out with, okay? Yeah. Because, of course, Drunk 3PO's hanging out with her. Yep, there you have it. I mean, what did you expect? It's Jay, you know? So, what he does, I agree with Jay. So I'm like, damn, Jay, the hell, brother. She was cool though. She was actually cool. And she was really nice. She met everybody too that was there for our hangout. So, but I'm sure the chat enjoys that picture right there. He's just like me. Good for Jay. Jay's job hiring. But it was great hanging out with all of you, and I really appreciate the support. And I can't wait to tell you more about what we're doing with 9line. Minister Vroom thinks is Jay's job hiring. Maybe one day. Freedom Corp says, Jeremy, did you get the post I tagged you in? I did not. I haven't been on Twitter that much, so except for for the news stories. I haven't been checking my notifications and things like that. So I can do it next stream because we're about to end right here. I appreciate all of you for the support and pray for President Trump. Hopefully, this is the end of the chaos, but I don't believe that's going to be the case at all. Thanks for all the gifted memberships. And I'm probably going to do a gaming stream tomorrow night on D-Day Cobra Gaming I'm going to have it set up on Rumble and Kick as well. Okay. So, be on the lookout for that, but thank you guys so much. I do appreciate it. Have a good evening, and we will talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.